Welcome to the Class Network's overview of GloCom. In this basic tutorial, we will go through some real easy options within the GloCom system. This will include making and transferring calls, contacts and how to sync them, online self-care, recent and missed tabs, general settings, voicemail and instant messaging. So let's get started with the toolbars at the top. Under File, you have the option to log out or exit. Under View, you can look at your chat history, your departments, your received faxes. You can change the view of your contacts and you can look at your diagnostic logs. Under Tools, you can go to Preferences, and this is where we'll look at options. And we'll go through these shortly. Under Contacts, you can sort by status alphabetically. You can say only show online users. And under Help, you can check for updates and check what latest version you're on. Let's have a look at the options of making a call. If I click on the green telephone key, it will bring up my keypad and I can simply drag and drop.
The person at extension 682 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone.
Alternatively, I can dial the extension. I can redial the last number. I can right click and call.
The destination number has not been recognized.
When I receive a call, it will look like this. At this point, I have several options. I can answer, reject the call, transfer it, or send it to voicemail. So that's just answering the call and hanging up. If I do it again, we'll transfer it. So I've hit transfer and I'm just going to send this over to one of my colleagues. If you want to send it blind, this will mean that you don't announce the call. If you want to send it supervised, you will. I can also make a call from my Contacts tab. So down the bottom, if I click Contacts, I've got all contacts, Outlook contacts, my Google contacts, and this tab is for CRM contacts, but I don't have mine integrated. So if I go to my Outlook contacts and find one of my colleagues, double click on them, and I can choose to call any number that they have listed. I'm going to select mobile. And then hang up when you've finished your call. If I go to my favourites, I can see where I've favourited some of my contacts. To do this, I just find the relevant contact, right click and add to favourites. It'll then appear in my favourites list. If I want to resynchronize my contacts, I have a little synchronize button here, this little arrow on the right hand side. If I click that, I'll see that it's syncing. This can take any length of time depending on how frequently you do it. I do mine quite frequently, so it should only take a couple of seconds. I can stop it from synchronizing if I click the red X and then select yes. I've integrated my Google contacts. The easiest way to do this is to click on the Gmail symbol here and enter your email address and password. Under the tabs at the bottom, I've also got a recent tab. This is where I can look at my missed, received and recently dialed calls. So I can recall that person just by right clicking and call. I can clear this call history by clicking the red X at the top right. You can also instant message your GloCom contacts. If you go to the GloCom tab along the bottom, just find a contact, double click on it, it will bring up the chat window and I can just send a message to one of my colleagues. And there are several options along the top of your chat window. So you've got emotions. Hopefully you won't be sending kisses to your colleagues, but you may want to stick out your tongue. And you can change your font settings and these sorts of things that you get on most instant chat messages as well. So you can change the status of how you appear to other people in your contacts list. I can do this by clicking on my current status and changing that. And it will also show me how my other contacts are. So I can see that Tony Home is on Do Not Disturb, and where there are green phones, I can see that these people are online and available. So now we're going to have a look at just some of the general settings, and you can do this by going to Tools and Preferences. So under General Settings, you can choose to launch the application when your PC starts. This is quite a common one, and most people will ask that you do this so that it's constantly available for you. You can also change your default language and add a language. You can be notified when new updates are available. Under Contacts, you can set how you want to view your contacts. You can enable grid view, and you can define what conditions mean that a user is online for you. And you can ask that it syncs your contacts daily. If you want to change the double click action of when you click on a user, you can change that here. So mine is set that when I double click on a user, it opens the chat window. You may wish to change that so that when you double click, it calls. You can change your chat settings to see where your chat history is saved to and how long it takes before you're seen as idle. And that's really all the settings that you'll need to play around with. There is another area for settings, which is under the online self-care. And this shows you your PIN number, which we suggest you do change. You can look at your internal directory. You can look at any voicemails you've received. You can look at calls made and received. And you can change your voicemail settings. So the last thing we're going to look at in this basic overview is voicemail. If I click my green call button and then
Please enter your PIN.
Your PIN should be 1234#.
You have no messages. Press 2 to change folders. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to send a voicemail message. Press star to return to the main menu. Press 2 to change folders. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 0 for change to which folder. Press.
So as you can see, when you call your voicemail, there's several options available and you can go through those and record your greeting.